Today, we're diving into one of the biggest, most complicated questions in technology right now. Why is it so incredibly hard to regulate generative AI, especially when things go wrong? So let's just start with the core question. If an AI causes real harm, say it gives you dangerously wrong medical advice, or it creates a fake defamatory image of someone, who's actually to blame? Is it the person who typed in the prompt? The company that owns the AI? The engineers who built it? It's not so simple.
You see, the answer isn't a straight line. It's actually tangled up at the intersection of three huge, complex worlds: the technology itself, our legal system, and of course, the personal data that fuels the whole thing. So let's break each of those down.
First up, let's talk about the tech. The way these systems are built creates this massive barrier to accountability, and it's often called the black box problem. This is a concept called AI opacity, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like a box where you put something in, something comes out, but what happens inside is a complete mystery. This is literally how many of today's big generative AI models work. Even their own creators can't always fully explain how they get to a specific answer. And here's the thing. This isn't just a technical quirk. It's often a business strategy. As researchers point out, companies treat their AI models like top secret trade secrets. And that secrecy, it completely blocks independent experts and regulators from looking under the hood to spot risks before they cause real-world damage. So this opacity creates some huge hurdles. We have no idea what data the models were really trained on. They can hallucinate, which is a nice way of saying they confidently make stuff up, and they can take the biases that already exist in their training data and just amplify them, leading to really unfair outcomes. It's incredibly hard to regulate something when you can't even see how it's making its decisions. Okay, so that's the tech. Next up, the legal system. Our laws, well, they were written for people and for machines we can understand. They're just not built for the weirdness of AI. Just think about it this way. A faulty toaster. If it catches on fire, the line of responsibility is pretty clear. You can trace it from the manufacturer, to the store, to you. But with a faulty AI, it's not a line, it's a tangled mess. Who's liable? The developer? The platform hosting it? The person who used it? The source of the training data? It's a complete legal nightmare. And this all boils down to one very fundamental, very important question at the heart of this legal gap. Can you actually sue an AI? And the answer right now is a hard no. Under our current laws, an AI is not a legal person. It can't be sued because it doesn't have any rights or responsibilities or assets. So the blame just gets pushed back onto that tangled web of people and companies we were just talking about. And even the new laws that are being proposed are struggling to keep up. Take the EU's Big AI Act. It's already being criticized because it doesn't really get to the heart of how unpredictable these generative models are. Our traditional laws that require you to prove who is at fault just fall apart when you're talking about an autonomous system. It creates this huge gray area for everything from copyright to harmful content. All right, finally, let's talk about the fuel that powers this entire industry, our data. And this is where the accountability gap gets really, really personal for every single one of us. Here's how it works. These models are built by scraping absolutely massive amounts of data from the internet, our public posts, our photos, our comments, and a lot of the time it's without our clear, direct consent. That data then gets fed into the black box to train the AI. And because the model learns from all this information, it can sometimes just leak our personal data in its responses to other people. Now, this whole process puts AI on a direct collision course with data privacy laws, like Europe's GDPR. Those laws give you powerful rights, the right to consent, the right to have your data erased, the right to transparency. But how does any of that actually work with AI? How does a company get meaningful consent for a data set the size of the internet? And how can you possibly erase your data once it's been baked into the very fabric of a trained model? It's like trying to unscramble an egg. You just can't. So what we have are systemic privacy harms. Models are trained on sensitive data without permission. The standard click here to agree notice you see everywhere is totally insufficient for these kinds of large-scale risks. And what's more, AI introduces brand new dangers, like being able to re-identify supposedly anonymous data or making deeply personal, invasive guesses about our lives. So, to bring it all home, the AI accountability gap is basically a three-headed monster. First, we've got a technical problem. The models are opaque black boxes. Second, we've got a legal problem. Our laws have no idea who to blame. And third, we have a huge privacy problem because the way AI uses data is in direct conflict with our fundamental rights. And look, this technology is not slowing down. As it gets more and more powerful, the real challenge for all of us is to stop playing catch-up. The big question becomes, how do we start building accountability, transparency, and safety directly into the code that is literally shaping our future?